Hi, and welcome to Spending Your Summer with me, Henry Keating. Today, we'll be taking a look at a couple of Mercer students and their plans to go out and do something with their summer. Two of our guests will be working at summer camps, one will be on a Mercer on missions trip, and one will be preparing for a postgraduate internship this summer. Our first guest is Camden Abrams, a Mercer University cross-country runner and freshman engineering student. He'll be working at Ridgecrest Summer Camp for Boys. You decided to spend your summer working at camp.
Yeah.
So how does that work out?
Basically, that'll just mean that I'll have to get up like an extra hour and a half early every day. So if camp activities start at like 7:30, I'll be up at probably 5:30 or 6 or so every morning to get up and knock out a run and
Awesome.
whatever else I have to do for that day.
So you'll be working at Ridgecrest Summer Camps, right?
Yeah.
North Carolina, Black Mountain area.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're gonna be what's your job gonna look like when you're there?
I'm gonna be a counselor. So I'm gonna be basically in charge of a cabin of roughly, I think, around 15 to 20 guys, and I'm not 100% sure. They haven't told us what age group we're gonna be working with yet, but it'll be somewhere between 6th and 11th or 12th grade. I got hired there last summer and was gonna work there. But they ended up canceling camp because of COVID. So
You're a little unfamiliar with the camp work environment.
Yeah, I've actually never worked at summer camp before, so this is gonna be my first time. I'm really excited.
So what attracted you to working at camp?
Well, I've always wanted to spend a summer at camp, and just it never happened when I was younger. Just the times and stuff just never worked out. Being able to work there as a counselor and getting paid to spend my summer there just seemed like a really cool experience.
Giving up a whole summer a summer you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot for, right?
Yeah.
Especially with your sleep schedule.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. That's really cool that you kind of try to experience something new, you know. And I think that's really cool, and also to pour into other young men is a great experience. So. What would your encouragement be to other people, looking for not just a job but also an experience for the summer? What would you say to them?
Yeah, my encouragement would be to just be open to the opportunities that are out there and to not waste your summers, because I know a lot of college students they'll go home and they'll spend all summer just playing computer games or something, and so just not to do that, to do something productive and meaningful.
Our next guest is Anna Stephens, also a freshman, majoring in creative writing here at Mercer. She'll be working with the horseback program at Pine Cove's camp at Chimney Point. So, Anna,
yes.
You are going to be working at one of Pine Cove's camps this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
So how long have you been involved with Pine Cove?
So I worked there last year for 5 weeks, and then I'll work there this year for 12.
How many days between the end of your work and school are you going to have?
I think I'll have a week. Which
Good amount of time to get home.
Yeah. The first half I'll be a wrangler, so I get up at the amazing hour of 4 a.m. Yeah, I know. And I'll go out to the barn, just get the horses prepped for the day, then just taking care of the horses throughout the day, making sure they have what they need, all that.
For someone who's looking for summer employment, is it easy to break into the environment there and be a part of the camp there?
Yeah, I found it pretty easy. So I went in, I didn't know anybody except the person that had referred me to work there last summer, and we ended up working different halves. So I went actually knowing no one, but the staff is really good about getting you connected. There's Zooms before training week and all that, where you can meet other people, and they're just really good about building community fast with the people you're working with, and just making sure that you're comfortable and you have people you can talk to, and so it's pretty easy to transition over just because they make it easy.
Rileigh Rawson is headed to the country of Georgia in Eastern Europe this summer. So how did you hear about your MOM?
I heard through my PA. He is also going on the trip, and my PA group is really close, so we all kind of bonded, and there's a lot of us going from our O group. A few of us just really kind of clicked. We had a few classes together, and we just really got along, and we all said this was a great experience, and the faculty advisor was the same for our O group, so it all just kind of like worked out. We're like, sure, we'd love to go.
So what do you think that this Mercer on mission trip is, specifically going to help you with? You're in an accelerated course of study, so how you use your summers is really important, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think this will give for you?
So it definitely helps with, especially in our field, we have to do like international studies, and so it helps cover like that bracket of our specific degrees. And I feel like what better way to like help prepare and understand like international studies and like politics than like to go see it firsthand.
So you think this will be a really meaningful like individual experience?
Yes, I am very excited for it. My father has been abroad like many times, and he talks about all of his wonderful stories and how different things are outside of the U.S. And I'm jealous of him, and I've always wanted to like go experience it myself, and hopefully soon I'll be able to tell him stories because he's never been to that country, so it'll be like a flip, and I think it'll be really cool.
David Carter is graduating this spring from Mercer, and his first step will be right here in Macon. He is committed to be the intern at Mercer's branch of Reformed University Fellowship for the coming semesters.
I started RUF actually my sophomore year, so I wasn't involved at all. Maybe once or twice when I was a freshman, but I was really involved in my fraternity freshman year. And then sophomore year when Marlon showed up, I became much more involved.
So as you became more involved with the with the intake of new pastor here at Mercer RUF, what was sort of the trigger? Was there something other than Marlon that just convinced you to like this was something that you wanted to invest time in?
When I was a part like doing my fraternity thing, I was making a lot of decisions that like normally I wouldn't have made, but because of the environment and the community I was in, I was like doing things that I normally wouldn't, and was really like convicted and also like very kind of upset that I was making those. So when I ended freshman year going into sophomore year, over that summer, I kind of had a little change of heart, and I was like, this is something that I need to do. I need to get less involved here and more involved in something that's pushing me in what I think is the right direction.
Was there any factor in this that made you think that maybe this wasn't like the best way?
Yeah, my parents are like, hey, you should get an engineering job. We paid 4 years to give you an engineering job that'll, give us a little return on our investment, but I feel like 2 years is a pretty small amount of time compared to the 40-year career that I'm going to have in engineering, and that I would be wasting an opportunity to like develop these other sides of my life, not just my academic like intelligence, my social awareness, my ministry side, and everything that kind of goes along with that. Doing the like Mercer Engineering 4+1 program, so I'm doing 4 years and 1 year of grad school, and I'll have both degrees. So apart from that, I wouldn't have been able to do the internship until after I got my like master's degree. But because James, our current intern, is leaving and going to wherever he's going, I have the opportunity to be his point of view, his position as a 5th year grad student. So I'll be doing graduate school and the internship at the same time. And I was like, well, I have to stay at Mercer. Do you think that this was something I'll be able to do? Like something that kind of led me throughout my life. I worked at a summer camp for 5 years before this. I was a camper at that summer camp, and then moving into staff, I've always wanted to give others the opportunity and the experience that I had in an organization, in just life in general. I want to share what I've been given, and luckily I've been given the gifts to do that and the opportunities to do that. So it's really all about giving the same experience and maybe even doing better than what I had.
Giving back is a huge thing, especially, and like talking about investment and stuff. Like Mercer invested in us, right? So then, like we put that return out.
Major in changing the world.
We do major in changing the world. These 4 students decided to sacrifice a substantial portion of their summers to go out, do something, serve, engage with their communities. They've chosen to serve in communities across Mercer, Macon, America, and the world. So what are you going to do with your summer?